Hey there, teeth lovers. Welcome to today's show where I'm going to switch gears just a tad from what I normally talk about because we're going to talk a little bit about nutrition, primarily protein, because I work with women and I notice a common theme. I have for years, but as of recent, there's always this common theme that I find in my female clients, right? My hygienists. So I'm going to dive into today, like, why is protein so important? I know you hear it all the time. How do we make sure that we eat enough? How much is enough? And hacks to make sure that you get enough. So stay tuned because we're going to dive right in. Hey there. Welcome to the Lift for Longevity podcast, where our goal is to build our strongest, healthiest body. We all deserve to feel our best, but since we only get one body, we have to make sure to protect it by moving safely and with purpose to prevent pain, injury, and surgery. I'm your host, Brianne, and I'm a fit pro turned business owner and also a girl mom. I'm obsessed with educating and empowering dental pros on how to take care of their body by training efficiently and building the right muscles to prolong their career. I know you're tired of spending time working out but still dealing with annoying aches and pains, getting rid of your pain temporarily only to have it come right back just a few hours later, or feeling like you never have any energy. You wish there was a long-term solution to get rid of your pain for good. Well, I'm here to give you real-life, actionable steps that you can take today to get rid of your pain, say goodbye to quick fixes, and have energy to live a life that you love. So if you're ready to get stronger, enjoy your life outside the operatory, and have longevity in your career, grab yourself a high-protein snack and let's get to it. So today we are talking about protein, and today's actually a Tuesday evening, and this happens to me every single week where I'm about to record a podcast and my landscaper shows up. You'd think I'd learn, right? Anyways, I hope that this lawnmower noise, leaf blower, doesn't come through, but that's Brianne for you. So anyways, I'm going to dive into protein, and essentially, where do I begin with protein? The majority of women are under eating protein, and this is a problem for many reasons. Starting with the reason number one is because as we age, we lose muscle mass, right? And this is why you'll see women who, once they're in their like 40s, 50s, 60s, so on and so forth, they start to feel like chubby or flabby. You know what I mean? Like they don't have that tone defined look because they're losing muscle mass as they age. Now, part of it's strength training, of course, but another big component is protein, right? Because if we're strength training and not eating enough protein, well, guess what? Nothing's going to change, right? So I see this all the time too. And I'll use my example as my client, Brittany, who was doing really well in my program. We had a check-in. It was about a month or two in. She was feeling great, but at that time she had expressed to me that she was just feeling really tired and she had like low energy. Full disclosure, she told me she was doing Weight Watchers, which people on Weight Watchers tend to severely undereat. So I'm not saying anything negative about Weight Watchers, but undereating is a problem for energy, right? And for just our bodily functions. But anyways, I'm not going to go on a tangent. So anyways, I talked to her about her protein intake. She upped it. And the next time we chatted, I think it was a week later, she was like, oh my gosh, I have so much energy. Like I came home from work and I had so much energy. And this is just one client. I had another client the other day, Natalie, whose husband's a personal trainer, oddly enough. So I just assume personal trainers, eat a lot of protein, right? But, she's not her husband. So she started eating more protein and she's like, oh my gosh, Brianne, I noticed such a difference. And the thing that I love about protein, it's so easy to track. Like I've never been like a macros person. I've never tracked my food. It's just not my thing, right? If there's a time and a place for it, and if you do that, fine, great, more power to you. I know hygienists are very detail oriented, so maybe some of them would enjoy that. However, for me, I feel it, very overwhelming and tedious. And I have a lot of clients who are moms, and it's a struggle just to get their workouts in, let alone tracking your food all day. But the thing with protein is you could track it in your head, right? You don't even need maybe a calculator, but you don't even really need, like MyFitnessPal or whatever it is that people use to track their macros, because it's like, boom, 25 grams here, boom, 30 grams here, right? Okay, so that brings me to my next point is like, how do we know? Well, first of all, like what is protein, right? Our muscles are made up of all of our connective tissue, right? So it's really, really important that we are building muscle to protect our skeletal, our musculoskeletal system in the long run, right? And just to be healthy. Actually, I'm going to mention a doctor that I follow on Instagram. Instagram because I'm obsessed with her. Her name is Dr. Gabrielle Lyon with a Y. So go ahead and follow her on Instagram. She, like I said, is a doctor. She does like muscle-centric medicine. And her whole thing is like muscle is the key to longevity, right? She just has so much knowledge, and all she talks about basically is like muscle and how important it is to our longevity. So go ahead and give her a follow because she's amazing. But basically, like I said, it's amino acids. Our body is made up of proteins. We need it to survive. And basically it keeps us full. So that's another point that I want to make is like, if you eat, I don't know, a meal with little protein, like you're hungry, like, I don't want to say 5 minutes later, but like you're not satiated, right? Like if you were to up your protein intake by, say 20 grams, you'd notice that you'd be fuller, right? So if you're not sure, like, where do I start? How much should I be eating? A good rule of thumb for a woman is just 100 grams, right? A lot of people are only eating 50, 60, maybe 80, maybe. And 100 is so simple to get because, like I said, you can get, you can eat like 5 ounces of chicken, turkey, beef, fish if you like seafood, and it's super, super easily attainable. However, I know a lot of my clients in particular expressed to me that they don't eat lunch. So this is a problem because it's like, you don't have to eat this protein at a certain time. It's kind of a 24-hour period. Like as long as you eat enough, you're going to be good to go. But it's just problematic if you have a light lunch, which a lot of women do, and then you are eating at dinner. Like you're probably not going to hit your protein intake. So a couple of hacks I'll give you a little bit later on, but I just want to talk about like why is it so important for building muscle is because when we're strength training, resistance training, weightlifting, whatever you want to call it, our muscles are getting what's called like these micro tears, right? And protein is what rebuilds that muscle tissue. So we need protein to rebuild those micro tears from during our training session. And fun fact, this actually happens during our sleep. So there's, sleep also is important for 100 million reasons. I'm not going to go into that today, but it's just important that we make sure that we're getting enough protein. So my challenge to you is shoot for 100 grams and see. Your life will be changed. Your energy will go through the roof. You're going to feel so much better. You're probably going to notice that your body composition is shifting, right? You're starting to get toned. Maybe your pants are looser, your shirt's looser, fitting better. Trust me, I've seen this over the years. I see it all the time. And it's so simple, right? But, I think because it's second nature to me, I've been in fitness for so long that like, fitness and protein just go hand in hand, right? I've grown up essentially around bodybuilders and that's just like part of our lifestyle, but it's not, it's not so common to the everyday person. But the good news is nowadays I think people are becoming more aware of it, and B, everything has protein in it. I feel like nowadays, I mean, you can get those Kodiak waffles for breakfast with protein in them. You can get Quest chips that they're actually really good. They're a little pricey, but they have like 16 grams of protein, I think, in a little bag of chips. But anyways, what I'll share with you is kind of some hacks that you can do. So yogurt, you can buy those Okios yogurts. There's literally 20 grams in one little cup, and that's such a nice snack where you can eat hopefully in between patients really, really quickly if you need. Or protein powder, of course, that's always a staple. And you can mix it with water, fine. I actually like to mix it with almond milk or even coconut milk because it just tastes better. Or you can buy them already pre-made, like from Costco. You can buy like the Orgain, or I don't know, there's a bunch of brands. Core Power is another one I buy for my daughter because she's a teenager and definitely doesn't need enough protein, but that's a different topic for her and I. Okay, so overnight oats too. That's another nice one you can do for breakfast. And you can make so many flavors. If you go on Pinterest, I couldn't tell you how many different flavors they have, but it's like put a scoop of protein powder in your oatmeal with almond milk, fruit, whatever you want, chia seeds, and let it sit, and then boom, breakfast on the go in the car, right? Totally easy. Cottage cheese is a big one. That is like the one food in the whole wide world I will not eat because I think it's disgusting. But that's a really good source of protein, and you can blend it and put it in like a pasta sauce with banza pasta. That's something that I like to eat because I've just always been a fan of pasta, but it's not the greatest for you. So if you get the banza pasta, it's made of chickpeas. It's like a bright orange box and it has a great amount of protein in there. Tuna packets. So sometimes I'll throw tuna in with my pasta if I'm not doing like, grass-fed ground beef or whatever. So there's so many things that you can do. But like I said earlier, I would just really strongly encourage you to shoot for like not even 100 grams right away. Just add like 3 ounces of meat. Like you can just have a bigger serving of chicken at dinner, right? Or steak or whatever it is that you're eating. Like if I go to Chipotle, day, which is not a lot, but like I'll order double protein. And it's such an easy like hack just to up your protein intake, right? Instead of eating like a tiny half piece of chicken, like eat a whole chicken breast, you know? So there's so many things you can do. So I hope that made sense. I hope that was giving you guys a little bit of clarity, but like not getting too nitty gritty, because it's just not that complicated, right? Get your, 30 to 50 grams a serving each meal, depending on how many meals a day you're eating. Try and up your protein intake to like 100 grams over time, because if you're severely under eating, that's going to be like a huge jump. But if you have questions, feel free to let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram. I do have a protein hack guide that I'd be happy to send your way. But other than that, that is all I have for today's episode, and I will see you next week. Have a great one. Thank you so much for listening in today. I hope you got a takeaway from this episode, and if you did, would you be so kind to share it with another dental pro you think would benefit from it? I know you love learning, and chances are that they do too. Also, I would love to connect with you on Instagram, so go ahead and head over to the Lift for Longevity podcast page or follow me at Built by Brianne. If you shoot me a message saying hello, I will personally respond because I love chatting with dental pros. Before you go, though, I want to let you know that I appreciate you and what you do, and I hope to chat soon. Until next time, stay strong.